Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, hi, hi. Welcome in. Let me get my chat pulled up here. Hope everyone's doing well. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you something. I understand why people do chair reacts. Because putting together actual content is work. It's work, especially when you have like a day job. Which to me, that like if you don't have a day job and you're doing this, you have no excuse not to do more than just like sit and be like, wow, that's crazy. Because you got time. And my brain feels like hamburger meat because I have been piecing things together for the last 2 days as all the craziness has happened with Seandablack and Ethan and Hassan and Taylor and everyone. And I know that I'm missing things. I know I'm missing things because it's been like an onslaught. And when you when this isn't the way you make money and you spend 8 hours a day doing something else, it's hard. It's hard to pull everything together, but we're going to do our best. We are going to do our best. And Kate, you were trying to pull your chat up. So why don't you do that so you can actually see all these lovely people? Hi, Gia. Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much, Gia. Hi, Manola. Hey, girlies. Welcome, welcome. I mean, I'm going to be doing more. I actually was thinking, my thought is to continue this once the show is back as like an after show. Maybe not every day because that is too much, at least at first. If this somehow really takes off, as you know, and things continue the way they've been, which thank y'all so much for sharing and liking my content. I am stunned. I mean, this was really just a way for me to like get all my thoughts out. But my thought is to do this more regularly. Maybe like I was thinking starting with doing like Tuesdays because there's no show, and react to Monday's show, and then Fridays because I'm pretty light, and more chill on Fridays, so I can get out of work and just like lock in a way that sometimes I can't during the week. A weekly would be dope. We can be a waiting room. LOL JK. What's the opposite of a waiting room? Like what comes after you go to an appointment? My first thought is like the recovery room. Like where you go in the hospital after like a surgery or something. McDonald's. I don't think we can call it McDonald's. But I kind of like H3 recovery room. Post-show, H3 post-show would be good. I feel like that people might actually find that more than recovery room, right? And we got to think about the SEO here, gang. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, first of all, I have a question that I wanted to put to the group that I was going to do before we started. Here we go. I'm going to put a poll up and you'll see what it is. Will anyone save Seandablack? Lock in your answers. Who is going to save Seandablack? Is it going to be anyone or no one? I will say, I don't want to use this space, this stream, to just like shit on the people that are Ethan's targets right now. I think that's happening enough in a lot of places. And if you saw my last stream, for me, it's more about getting to the heart of the issues instead of like just making fun of people. So that's what I'm going to try to do as best I can. Of course, there are silly things that are happening, but I'm not about the cruelty, And I will say this, as well as like, in addition to chair reacting being super easy, so is being mean. It's really, really easy to be mean. Super chat's off? I don't think it is. Thanks for asking. You should be able to. I see it down below. The situation room. But yeah, so like I was saying, being mean is really easy, right? It's like a first reaction, and it's funny, and it's thrilling, and it's a little shocking, right? But I don't want to do that. Like I could do it, but I'm coming up on 40 just like Ethan. Happy birthday, Ethan. I'm coming up on 40, and like shitting on people and making fun of them on the internet is like a 20-year-old thing to do.
Got mail.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kent. I don't know why it's doubling. My audio stuff, I need to like I had no time this week to really work on it. So the audio might still be a little crusty this week. Let me know now if you can hear me well. And then when we start looking at stuff, there aren't a ton of video, so I think we'll be okay. But thank you so much, Kent. That's amazing. You thought I was 27? It's the chubby face. Honestly, it's the chubby face. Tonight we're rocking pink and like a marigold. It looks more orange in my lights. But last stream that I did my nails, both of these colors were picked, and I only did pink, and then I was like, I want to do both. But now I can't wait to change them, probably next stream, because all I can think of is Dunkin' Donuts. And Dunkin' Donuts sucks. All right, let me read things. Thank you, Kent, so much. Situation room. Yeah, I think post show would be cool. Yeah, so I'm thinking like Tuesdays and Fridays if people would actually watch that. Maybe we'll try it when things are back and then see how it goes. See if it works out. And I'm just trying to be different than like Nicholas Diorio, Pope Diorio, and maybe some of the other React streamers they're just handling it differently because I don't think they're like hardcore fans. They're also not women, and with peace and love. I think there's just like for me, there's more empathy as a woman. I'm not saying all women are, but I'm also older, right? I'm 27. And so I just want to handle this in a way that's thoughtful, and being mean is easy, and I don't want to make easy stuff because there's enough easy stuff out there. Can't hear all right now. Only the super chat was funky. Yeah, I do not know why that is. I probably have to redo that. Yes, LOL. I'm 29 and I thought you were younger than me. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I would love that. After party would be a fun concept too. Okay, after party. H3 after party. I like that. Oh, let's see. No one thinks Seandablack is going to get saved. So let's do a new poll. Oh, let me close this poll. Because I know there's like Captain Quasar is doing like the H3 waiting room. So maybe we can be the H3 after show. So let's see. Which name is better? H3 after show, H3 post show. Oh, and then H3 after party. H3 after party. I think those were the three that I've seen come through. Okay. After party, people like that. Hardcore fans are needed for context. Exactly. And I will say, like, most people don't want to hear the context, to be fair. And I think knowing as much as we do as hardcore fans, it kind of makes us seem insane. Because my brother and I got into it a little bit about the Hasan Ethan thing because he consumes content from the Hasan side of the spectrum, but he's not like a total like nut job about it. But that's where he's getting his information, so he had a really like Hasan skewed view of everything that was happening with Ethan. And so he was like, "Can you believe it? Ethan's like gone insane." I was like, I don't even want to get into this because I know so much about it. It's embarrassing. And you're wrong, but I don't want to like be weird and tell you that I watch this show every single week, every single day that it's on, you know? It's up to Hasan. Yeah, I know. We're going to talk about that. That's very interesting to get the experience of the other side firsthand from a family member. Yeah. And it was on vacation. And I will say, like, my brother and I have a history of like knockdown, drag out political fights, like really not cool. And we have since like kind of come to like a treaty, like a peace treaty, because we're both progressive. And there was a time when we did not agree on some little things, and that was rough. So this was like the first time since then that we have had a political conversation where we didn't both agree, because we've tried for like years now to both be, I think, really generous to each other, understanding, good, come with goodwill and good intentions, and talk in good faith. And so this was the first time that it was like a little contentious, because I mean, there's no other way to be like, that's a lie, right? So that it was a little tricky, but afterwards everything was fine. I mean, I showed him some stuff, he sent me some stuff, and I was like, oh, that's not what happened at all. Here's another clip. And he was like, wow, okay. So he's like, he watched something and he's like, that actually gave me a lot of sympathy for Ethan. And so, I mean, he was open to it, and that was great. Did he ruin my Disney trip? No, he did not. No Disney trips were ruined. Yeah, so yeah, it was definitely interesting to see. My brother obviously is not like a snarker or anything. But if I will say this, and I'll show you, there are some people that I will engage with, right? There are some people that I will talk to about this stuff if they come at me in good faith and I know that they're going to listen. But then there are other people that I'm not going to try it with, because I protect my peace. I have been on the internet since on social media since Facebook started. I was in the freshman class, the year Facebook opened for colleges and universities. So I was literally one of the first people to get on Facebook. I've spent a lot of my online life arguing with people and thinking that that would change something. And then I went to therapy and I learned that that's anxiety, and that we can't really solve these huge existential issues by being mean to each other online. It's hard to convince someone who is fed the blatant hate campaign stuff when they have zero context. Exactly. Because then they're like, wow, you're just like obsessed with Ethan and you're just like brainwashed. It's like, you don't know that you're brainwashed. Like, Hasan has done a very good job. I'm worried this will look bad to a judge, with Ethan trying to get other people to do things and play games when this is a copyright infringement case. I'm obviously on Ethan's side, but that post soured me. Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about it. That's something to think about. I think that he's okay. I mean, to me, this feels like he's giving these folks like any chance to get out of it. I know they probably feel like it's really manipulative. And of course he's framing it as like he's a supervillain, right? With like ultimatums, but I think all he has ever wanted is a genuine apology, you know? He just wants acknowledgement that these people have been terrible. I mean, based on the reactions we've had so far, he's not going to get one, and they're really just shooting themselves in the foot, because they are wrong, you know? I had a convo with someone who came into the situation from Matt Lieb. Wow, okay, no comment on that. And it was so hard. It took a whole history lesson before we could even talk about Matt. Yeah, that's so true. Like, it's just so deep. It's such deep lore that I'm just not going to do it. Let me show you this. Oh, it's doing it again. That's really cool. Okay, well, first of all, I can show you this. This is like a random thing. Okay, so if you... Oh, there we go. Let's start with this, and then we'll go back to no bad news. So this is a conversation that came to me today or recently. I just found it in my TikTok DMs. And this is a guy who's followed me forever and ever. Because if you aren't familiar... oh, thank you, Just Dance Marcus. If you aren't familiar, I got my start on Instagram doing political stuff. Specifically, it was making fun of Trumpers with my microphone at rallies. Hence, girl with a microphone, and it's very ironic. I don't have a microphone now. We're working on that. But anyway, so this guy's followed me forever. He's been a huge fan, really supportive, right? Loves all my stuff. And so then he says, I go in my DMs and I see, Been seeing your videos about Ethan. Your takes are disappointing. Why should we be sticking up for a vehement Zionist? Right there is where I know this person is not worth engaging with. Anyone who's saying that, we know what that's really about, right? We know where that talking point has come from. We know the camp that they are in, and we know that we're not going to get anywhere. So if I see that, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you all the ways Ethan has supported the Palestinian cause. I'm not going to tell you about him voting against Netanyahu, and all of the stuff that he has said about Gaza and Palestine and Israel since well before October 7th. I'm not going to do all of that. It's exhausting and there's no point. So then he says, I don't understand why this guy needs to be protected. He just sued 3 women for no reason. Also not true. Oh, thank you for subscribing. We should be deplatforming him, not defending him. And so because we've had a conversation before, I responded, but it was really just to shut him down and set the boundary that we're not going to talk about this. And so I said, a vehement Zionist is crazy work. And you're clearly getting your information from biased sources. So I can't really interface with your arguments. So please feel free to use those words if you'd like. I don't want to engage. We're not going to get anywhere. Whatever it is, if it's someone that you feel like you have respect for and you want to just shut that door and just sort of gray rock them, this is like a semi-polite way to do it. I used to be a Hasan fan, but Ethan won me in the divorce. That's great. That's honestly pretty cool. Only barely tolerable, because he does a really good job at managing his image, managing what people think about him, which is hard for me to believe because the only times I've ever seen him streaming, he's yelling at and insulting people in his chat. So I don't understand how he has so much goodwill with them, but whatever. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you before we dig in. Speaking of things that I do elsewhere, so yeah, I have a lot more followers on Instagram. Here's all my stuff. 95,000, baby. Yeah, I make silly videos. I have also been posting clips and stuff from things I've done on here. But the biggest thing I'm doing right now, while Trump is in office, is every Friday I am rounding up all of the good news in the political sphere. Most of it is people like us resisting, fighting back, doing funny shit that is, embarrassing politicians. Anything that makes me happy during the week, I pin it and then I put it all together. So this is the other thing I was working on today as I was getting ready for the show. So we have this week, I just want to show you, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get this every week. No bad news. Obviously, we have Zoran winning the primary. Thousands of people, tens of thousands of people now have reached out to run for office thanks to Zoran's win, because they've shown that people can win. Young people, progressive people. A woman stopped a bunch of fake ICE assholes from deporting or just kidnapping people. This dummy was put into the Venice Canal while Jeff Bezos was in Venice for his wedding. This is a fire truck helping push all of these ICE agents out of the city of Bell, California. No one showed up to the Boise, Idaho Hetero Awesome Festival. And there's lots more. Blah, 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 blah. You can go see it. This is when Zoran won. Everyone's so excited. So you can go see this over on Instagram if that's something you're interested in. People have really enjoyed it. And it's a way that I feel like I can make a little bit of a difference. So there we go. I feel like it's okay to engage with people who are just saying vague statements and aren't true snarkers haters like your brother. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can tell pretty quickly if they just need more information. But that person, he's on TikTok. I'm assuming he's getting just mainlined Hasan slop. He has so much rage for the chat. It's like they're in an abusive relationship. That's how I feel. Like, he is so belittling. And if you need to do that to feel like you're smart, you are dumb. You are a dumb person. Alyssa, hello, hello. Hey. People think he's really good looking. I don't understand that at all. I support Alexa and I don't support Adam because I don't like how Adam is talking about Alexa. Totally valid. If you are wondering what that's about, it's Alexa Nicholas and Adam McIntyre. You can go watch an old stream when I was talking about Kat Tenbarge's letter. It was very deep. Kat and Alexa both showed up in the chat. It was wild. I saw a video of a Walmart worker who is an American citizen getting deported. He is in fact back in the U.S. I saw that. Well, I saw one guy. I don't know if it was the Walmart worker. If that man was ugly, no one would care about his opinions. I hope that hairline is suspiciously thick right now. I can't wait. I can't wait till it fades. I mean, a lot of people are saying stuff about his hairline. I mean, that's the stuff I'm not going to traffic in. I am not going to traffic in that. Junebug says, I would like to say thank you. Aw, you've created a space that serves as a reminder that we are not going crazy. We're not. You're not crazy. I'm not crazy. At least not for this. You might have other shit going on. I don't know. I just hope you know the way you go about this all is a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. On that note, let's look at some of the comments, the lovely comments that we got on the last stream and video where I was breaking down Kat's article, her opinion piece about Ethan. And I would just like to say, even though it was an opinion piece, girl, you're a journalist. How do you not have that curiosity in you even when you're writing opinion pieces? That's how I know that this is essentially propaganda, because you weren't even curious. You didn't even have curiosity. You were so sure of yourself and so sure that you were right. You know, like even if I'm writing something just for me, I have curiosity about the other side. And also, when you do an opinion piece, you kind of want to like back up your opinion if you're putting it on the internet. So I think it failed as an opinion piece. I mean, article title aside, it failed as an opinion piece as well. Video a little funky, might be my internet. It might be my internet. Is the video okay for everybody? Hi. Hey everybody. Okay, so let's see what we got here. These are just some things I pulled that I just wanted to talk a little bit about. So Kristen Booth, shout out. Kristen said, the brass balls to say all of this knowing the author was watching absolutely gave you top tier respect in my book. Instantly subbed, excited to see the rest of your content. Thank you so much, Kristen. I pulled this one because my background is in creative writing. I went to grad school for it. I have a Master of Fine Arts, and a huge piece of the creative writing graduate program is workshopping. It is literally where you sit in a room with a bunch of other writers and everyone loves sniffing their own farts and thinks they're the best thing that's ever existed. And they all shred your work. Like the stuff that has come from the depths of your soul. You have to sit there in silence while everyone's like, I don't get it. This really pulled me out of the story. I don't believe this character. This sentence is really sloppy. Like, and you just have to sit and take it. But then you get to do that to everybody else while looking them right in the face. So I am never afraid to give writing critiques to other writers. In chat, in person, over Zoom, whatever it is. So yeah, that is where my brass balls come from. Maybe it's some sort of a trauma. I don't know. But I don't care about that. And also, I knew I was right. I'm not scared about it because I knew that I was right. I was correct. And she needed to hear it. Whether she does anything with it, we know she won't. But I was totally fine saying it. I wasn't worried at all. Oh, you see me now. Good. Okay. All right. Next one. This is really cool. So 2 days ago, I did a stream covering the stuff with Dad. And Dad was on LOLCal talking about Creator Clash 3. And he's just such a sweetie. He's still going to stay involved. And he was still really optimistic about everything. But he was also, righteously upset and hurt by Ian and Anissa for kind of dragging out the crash and burn of Creator Clash. Because as he was saying, he's like in his mid 40s, so he doesn't really have many boxing years or months left. And so, yeah, for him, this was more than just like, oh, I'm out so much money. And, this was a huge thing, might have been a huge thing for my career. No, this is like, I love boxing. I'm not going to be able to do it much longer. And now I've trained for a year for something that isn't happening, and I don't have a fight anymore. And so it was just fantastic to like hear him talking. And I wish him all the best. And so I was talking about him in my stream, and he commented. He left a comment and he said, "Thanks for watching. I was pretty nervous about talking about this and entering this convo." And you could tell because he was very much like, I'm not mad at Ian and Anissa, and they don't owe me anything else. Like, he's just such a tender guy. And he also mentioned that he has a girlfriend and he's going to be getting engaged. So I'm very happy for him. And he says, I don't want to rock the boat and get hate. Like, he's so worried about getting hate for talking about Creator Clash. But I think he had like the perfect take on it. So I said, you are an angel on earth, sir. I don't think anyone will or should hate you for anything. I hope you get to box more while you can. I'm rooting for you. And he was just, thankful for that. And then other people had lovely comments for him. So thank you, everybody, for being cool and kind in our chat. AB, 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 AB. Oh, thank you, Manta Ray. It was devastating for those who were so invested. I was and am sad for AB and Lena, especially after seeing Lena's gorgeous fighting outfit. I know, I'm so sad for Lena. I mean, you could tell that even though she was happy, she was like trying to like bear up during the stream when she showed that off, but she must have been really sad. I mean, just how can you say you care about people when you do shit like that to them? Yeah. Shout out, Dad. Okay, and here's another one. This was interesting. This person had a bunch of tea about Trishy Land because Kat put in her article that Ethan was a frequent visitor of Trishy Land as some sort of evidence that he's a misogynist, which she's now saying she never said. We'll get to that. But this person was like a fan of Trishy Land. And also the evidence that Kat showed of Ethan being a huge fan of Trishy Land was that while on stream, I think during a members episode when he was, taping, like streaming from the basement, he happened to show his Google page, like the search page, and Trishy Land was one of the icons, meaning he had recently visited it. It didn't mean that was like one of his top sites. That's just a recent, that shows like your recent visits as tiles, right? So she was completely wrong, and literally that was the only thing that she had against him. And it's like, girl, Ethan has doxed himself way worse and way more times and in more interesting ways on those members streams from the basement. But yeah, so this is what this viewer had to say about Trishy Land. I've got some inside info on Trishy Land if Kat wants to play that game. Yeah, Ethan did bring it up on a show, and he was enjoying it after Frenemies ended. But that was also around the time Trisha was trying to claim Ethan had sexually harassed her. Yep. So I get why he checked out a subreddit that was calling her out for that lie. And yeah, that's what I said. When you are upset by someone, when someone has treated you that way, that doesn't make any sense, you kind of like to validate the fact that you're not insane. I think that's why we're all here, right? But he wasn't some regular user, and he's since publicly condemned the sub. Yeah, but Ethan isn't ever allowed to apologize for anything, right? Everything he's done, he is still held accountable for. Like the N-word thing, which he apologized for well before Ian, and no one ever brings up the any sort of montage of Ian saying the N-word and F-word back to back. It's the selective outrages is really exhausting. I know mods from that subreddit, from Trishyland. Most of them could see it was getting way too toxic. They wanted to clean it up. There were also serious suspicions that Moses and maybe even Trisha herself were posting absolutely vile shit on the sub during low mod activity, taking screenshots and using it as evidence. Aha! So they were doing potentially doing fake posts the way that snarkers were doing on the H3 subreddit, where they're like, Happy Ramadan, and then pretending it got deleted when it really didn't. So there is suspicion that Trisha and Moses were making Trishyland look more toxic than it was, and then just deleting those posts. So, I mean, the snarkers seem to be following that playbook, whoever was doing it. Before it was taken down, there was a huge fallout. A bunch of mods wanted it to be a space for holding Trisha accountable for her racist, homophobic, and sexually inappropriate behavior toward minors. But many users just wanted to snark and post memes. So several mods quit and the whole thing spiraled into chaos. And that's what sucks. It's because the reasonable people will be the ones who quit, right? The reasonable people are like, this is getting too toxic. I'm going to go like enjoy my life. I don't want to be here anymore. It doesn't make me feel good. And then the toxic people somehow have all the time and energy in the world to do this. So they're just able to sort of commandeer and fill in the void of reasonable people. And that's what's happened on multiple subs now. Honestly, it was right that it got taken down. By the end, it was just toxic, snarky bullshit. And you're absolutely right. None of this started because Ethan quietly unfollowed Frogan. This all started with the breakdown of frenemies. And that she's referring to the fact that I showed that Kat was on H3 for an interview about her David Dobrik article, which was great. And she pointed out in chat that she got tons of praise from Ethan for it. But then 3 months later, she was calling him like a disgusting homophobe on Twitter. Or no, a year later. So between those two instances was a year. 3 months after her interview, frenemies ended and everything went crazy. So yeah, that was when everyone started going down the wrong path. This all started breaking down frenemies. I honestly suspect Moses is still pulling strings behind the scenes, and same with Adam and Kat. Trisha's been protected for way too long. I'll go full tinfoil hat here, but I genuinely believe it's all connected, and I think these lawsuits might finally expose some of these people. Listen, I have said I don't want these lawsuits to drag on. I don't see it benefiting anybody. But I would really love for discovery to happen and for the truth to be revealed about these mods, who they're connected to, who they're talking to, whose advice they're taking, whose orders they might be taking. And just see all the little fibers and how they're connected. Can't believe Kaceytron called Lena an Israeli simp for dropping out. Like, yeah, she has just said, and that's what I mean. Like, being mean is easy. It is easy to be mean. You don't have to think about it. Zach sound bites in my head all the time. I don't have to think about it, dude. It just rolls off the tongue. It's like an instinct. It's knee jerk, and you don't even have to be right. And she has said a lot of stuff that's going to kick her in the ass because she has spent a lot of time taking the easy route and being mean on the internet. And that is the truth. So yeah, those were some of the comments that were on the streams I did last week or earlier this week. So thank you everybody for participating. Okay, it looks like H3 After Party is the winner. We love that. I'll leave it up, but that's a slam dunk right there. Denim's confirmed she's going to fight the lawsuit. Okay, girl. Get into it. Imagine if it got to the deposition stage. I mean, if Denims is going to fight it, it might. Yeah. Trisha has also been seen recently with Adam. Yeah, like Adam is just one of those people who goes where the wind blows. He goes, it's like journalists say, when it bleeds, it leads. Like, he can just smell blood in the water and that's where he goes, you know? And like, I don't want to be mean, but I don't respect that. I don't respect that. And I don't think that's mean to say. I don't respect the way he moves. I don't respect his lack of integrity. I think he has a lack of integrity. I think a lot of these people lack integrity because, again, it's easy. It's easier to get popular on the internet if you don't have integrity, if you don't have a conscience, if you are cool just saying whatever sensational thing will either get a rise out of people or make you more popular. It's like it's low brain engagement to do that stuff, and I'm not going to do it. Denims in the word of Chapel. Good luck, girl. Yeah. Drama brain rot gets clicks and views. Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, if that's what you want to do, sure. I mean, it's just not something I've ever done. Besides making fun of Trump and, like, toxic Republicans a little bit. But even then, when I saw the way that a lot of political creators were moving, which was infighting, insulting each other, helping get people fired, all that kind of stuff, it just felt like drinking poison. So I've just never done it. And it's not like a respectability politics thing. I think that there's plenty of people we should be angry at and criticize, but it's not people on the left. Like, we gotta figure this shit out together. And all the infighting, it's like, how do you have time for any real activism, you know? I have no respect for wishy-washy opinions. It's fine to have a change of heart, but not back and forth. Yeah, exactly. And I think that they call Ethan wishy-washy, which I think is crazy. Meanwhile, I mean, he's just apologizing and learning and moving forward. Okay, we did our comments. Okay, let's talk about this crazy shit. And this is what I mean by, you know, doing the sensational thing is what's easy, right? I saw this today and it really just shocked me that the snarkers are at this level of lying. That this was posted in FOMO. Thank you for subscribing. So this was posted, Travelers TTG, shout out. This was posted in FOMO. And it says, YouTuber Ethan Klein's latest lawsuit against Twitch streamer Kaceytron has brought on such an onslaught of hate comments and suicide wishes against her that she says it honestly feels like people are trying to get me to kill myself. They're even taking bets via Robinhood on her committing suicide. Is this a rumor is this something that she said on her stream? Do we know that? Let me see if was she the one that said that, or is this just completely fabricated? I want to see if there's any updates on it. Now this says Kaceytron is accusing Ethan's subreddit of making bets. You guys don't understand that Hasan is the movement. The Robinhood comment is not on stream. It was a random reply from some freak on Twitter. Okay. Yeah, and I saw that and I was like, what are you talking about? It's literally... Woke up to another barrage of people telling me I deserve to suffer. Some even mentioned taking bets. Okay, so she did amplify this. So this came from her. I already predicted you will rope when it's all said and done. Can we get official bets on this app? Okay. So this one person with 5 views, she decided to create a whole story out of that and say that in fact on the Robinhood app, you could take bets on someone roping themselves. She's accusing Asmongold's community of specifically trying to get her to KHS, which isn't true at all. The Robinhood comment is not on stream. Oh yeah, I read that one. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like she cherry-picked this insane comment that should not have been said, right? Should not have been typed on Twitter, of all places, of course, from 3 days ago, and decided to make it seem like that is part of a barrage of people who feel the same way and who are trying to take bets on Robinhood, which I don't think it's not a betting app, right? It's just stocks. So these are some other people. Telling me I deserve to suffer. I mean, you deserve this, honey. Maybe it does mean you deserve to suffer, but it also could mean you deserve a lawsuit because you broke the law, right? No one cares you did this to yourself. Like, none of this to me is saying, except for this one, which is terrible and disgusting, and no one with brains and like a developed frontal lobe would think that that's cool. But the rest of these are, I mean, there's obviously some schadenfreude here, like enjoying the fact that you're about to get in trouble. No one cares you did this to yourself. Hopefully you go down so far under you have to move in with family or go homeless. Also not nice. That's not nice. I would never say that or encourage that. But again, the views on these are pretty low, especially for Twitter. Like, this one had 5 views and she's like, they're all trying to bet on my death. Like, this is what I mean when I say, like, it's just, they're just trying too hard to make it worse and to make it seem worse so people have sympathy. I already have sympathy. You don't need to do all this. I don't want you to go broke. I want you to take the settlement and actually, like, grow up and learn something from this. It's mostly sports betting, is it? They added betting this year. Thank you, Manola. Okay, cool. So at least there's betting happening. I thought it was like completely foolish to even put that out there. But of course there's betting involved. Everyone's got betting now. Didn't you push fake rape allegations on people? No, clarify what you're talking about. Whatever. I don't want to get into the Kaceytron weeds, but the point is this is completely fabricated. Because it went from, look at the leap here. This is like playing telephone. First of all, this guy tags Robinhood app, 5 views. Can we get official bets on this? It's a terrible, gross joke. It's not something that was ever really going to happen. So from there, she transformed it into, some even mentioned taking bets. It's a single person with 5 views. And then the final leap is they're even taking bets via Robinhood. Like, what are we doing? We're just jump roping with the truth here. It stemmed from a response to her, apparently. That's what we're seeing here. This is obviously response. We see the little thingy here. To her, I'm guessing. This is where it came from. And then she took it and wrote over it because, and again, I think most people know, people who support you are just going to read what you say. They're not going to open any of this shit. They're just going to read what you say. So she's already like cut off the original source and become the original source. And then from there, one of her fans or somebody took it like completely out of left field. They're even taking bets via Robinhood. This implies that Robinhood approved it and that more than one sick fuck on Twitter was interested in that. And not just ironically. This is, to me, this clearly feels like irony, which she should understand because she's made tons of off-color jokes, right? Snark telephone, exactly. I used to think MAGA of the left was just a bit of an exaggeration, but they do world build and lie just like MAGA. Yeah. And that's what I keep saying. Like, if your side, if your opinion, if your politics are something you're so proud of and you think are so correct, why do you have to lie so much? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Why do you have to make things up and villainize people if you feel like you're on the right side of history? None of these people are serious. None of them actually want any sort of progress. I've seen that like super far left socialists. They're not even socialists. They're just like, they're not even anarchists. I don't know what they are. They're just like accelerationists. They're already criticizing Zohran Mamrani, who just won. In like an amazing upset in New York City. As a socialist, talking about $30 an hour minimum wage. And they're already like, just wait, he's going to be the next AOC. Like, it's just completely brain dead. Completely brain dead. Okay, so that happened. And then Ethan got involved. And you best believe Robinhood took notice at this point. Hi, Alex! Y'all, Alex. Everyone follow Alex. He is doing amazing stuff during the break and beforehand. Just rewatching. I saw you doing a rewatch. You've done the Jeopardy stuff for H3 as well. So make sure you follow Alex. We're building our own little pod. I don't want to be orbiters. We have to come up with a different name. Okay. Yeah, shout out Alex. Alex in the chat. So yeah, Ethan obviously caught wind of it from the subreddit. And he reshared someone from the sub reaching out to Robinhood, who obviously said, this is not a fucking thing that we're doing. We would never do this. It's false information. And they're going to be investigating it. Well, I mean, I could just send him this video. If you want to see where it came from, guess what? It's Kaceytron again. You trying to get a defamation suit against you from fucking Robinhood? A libel lawsuit? Like, just stop talking. Just stop talking. With peace and love, like, I know I said I don't like being cruel, but I will say I feel it is way easier to gain a following on here if you are fucking stupid. I mean, we've seen that from the beginning, right? With Logan Paul and Jake Paul and Rice Gum and like all those early like hype beast morons. But I mean, it's still happening today. Like, these people have, it's not even being dumb. It's like they have no sense of self-preservation. Like, y'all are being sued. You should not be talking to anyone except your lawyers. And you should not be on the internet making more false accusations. Like, what are we doing? Okay, here's another one. This is another person that reached out. Same thing. Robinhood does not participate in these types of event contacts, and the information being shared is completely false. If you have any other not blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So there's that. So, like, this is what we're talking about. This is what Ethan is up against. This is what we're up against as fans, trying to maintain any sense of, like, reality, right? Like, how can we interface with these people if they are comfortable just taking stuff like this at face value and believing it and perpetuating it and spreading it? And like, I don't think there's any point. They're like so far down the rabbit hole. Like, these are the people that I will not defend. I will not argue with them at all. Maybe the worst response is to finding out you're getting sued 100%. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Oh, Lord. Okay, so now let's get into the reason we're all here. The most popular streamer ever, Seandablack. So Seandablack, here he is. This is Sean. God, just like the level of reacts that they get into on Twitch. How do people follow this? Maybe I'm just old, but I just think that's crazy. Okay, here they are. There's Sean. Can you guys see all of it? Sean! Let me move this up for y'all. Ethan Klein hates women. Yeah, totally. Hates women. Why is this not letting me move you? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, or be dumb. That's fine. So yeah, Sean is here. We knew him before. I mean, we only knew him because of this stuff, right? So he's a streamer in Hasan's orbit. He is also one of the L Dance gang in the Content Cop, and I will just say this is like the story of Seandablack is like a modern day allegory for be careful what you wish for, right? Because he has complained about, let me see if I can find the one that here it is. First, he complained a while ago about Hasan not giving him enough attention. Y'all might remember this one from 4 months ago.
I hate it so much. Because it always boils down to it. It always boils down to you have to run defense for the white kids. You have to focus on the white kids. You can't have a safe space for black people because we need to bring in the Gen Z white kids.
He's talking about Hasan and Hasan's approach to politics here.
It's always what it goes back down to. Always what it goes back down to. Literally, always.
What else you got, bro?
Talk to him directly. The way like he can improve and be more aggressive isn't the end all be black vids than D. Shouted me out a lot, yes. Hashan has shown one of my videos.
So mad. He's like, I feel like he's like the Jake Doolittle of the Hasan orbit, right? Like he's never happy with the amount of attention he's getting. And then that ends up really biting him in the ass. One video.
Who just kind of sounds jealous to me or making a big deal out of nothing, man, fuck you. And if you think somebody being right-wing as a kid and changing isn't sincere and you don't belong on the left, man, fuck you.
Damn,
fuck
bro.
This fucking community, bro. Fuck them.
This is all because Hasan was centering that Dean kid who's a liberal, who also, like, I don't care if I ever hear him talk ever again.
Fucking assholes. And they wonder why black people don't like this space, bro. And they wonder why black people don't like this space, bro.
I mean, I don't know about black people in general, but you probably shouldn't like this space because they totally hung you out to dry.
Oh, fuck this community. Fuck this community, bro.
All right, so there he is being mad about Hasan not paying attention to him enough and prioritizing younger, whiter progressives. He also was pissed that Ethan didn't know who he was. Here we go. Here's a still from his reaction to the content cop, or reaction to Ethan's reaction to the content cop. It might be another layer here. I don't know who the hell this guy is. But look at the title. Ethan KKK Klein reacts to entire content cop. Nobody knows me. So he's really sad about that. Then we have, that one's for later. That one's nothing. Then we have, oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. This one got deleted from Reddit, but it was a video of Sean reacting to Frogan, who was watching, she was watching something live, and he was like in her chat live, and he was talking, and she wasn't like seeing his chats. She's like, look, she's on her phone. She's not even watching the nuke. So, I mean, first of all, throws Frogan under the bus. And then he literally yells, acknowledge me, which someone pointed out here. This was like the best line of it. Acknowledge me. He was like begging for her to notice his chats because she wasn't responding to them live. So like, he's just like begging for attention. Just begging for attention. And then here he is being very arrogant about the lawsuit.
It's not great.
Bad move.
It's not a great look to do great if you're trying to avoid committing copyright infringement. It's not great.
If you're trying to avoid copyright, okay, sue her.
After he paraded on the internet about how he was going to sue me and he wanted to sue me, guess what? Still no lawsuit.
Sue me, even.
Whoopsie. Gotcha. Gotcha. So that is Seandablack. He had a lot to say about. Was there anything else in this?
It's not a
book?
great look.
Who the fuck cares?
Who cares? Okay, so that's all the setup. We all now know about Seandablack. Oh, thank you for subscribing. And so that brings us to this weekend. Obviously, we have Mr. Klein on vacation with Hila for his birthday. Happy birthday, King. And during that time away, people got real froggy, and they decided to critique him for only suing women, right? All of a sudden, it's Ethan is super sexist because he's only suing women. And then we have the article from Kat Tenbarge saying he's in a war on women, and this isn't anything new because he was terrible to Trisha. So because of all of that noise, Ethan decided to look a little more closely at that original list of streamers that he had, that the Snark subreddit had put, of everybody that was going to be creating a market substitute for the content nuke. And Seandablack was on that list. So then we get this lovely message from the Kaka King on his beautiful vacation, and everyone's like, oh, he's on vacation, why is he even talking about this? Listen, we are all terminally online at this point, especially the snarkers who are criticizing Ethan for being terminally online, and I guarantee that this vacation has just opened his mind and made him even more creative about the ways he wants to fuck you people over. Whoopsie, made a oopsie. Okay, so here is what Ethan had to say. Good evening. I've been thinking deeply about everything going on, specifically about the accusation that I'm a misogynist for suing 3 women. You are all correct. It's not been fair. That's why I've decided to add Seandablack to the lawsuits for gender equality. Sean, be sure to thank all of your snarker friends for their constructive advice. So now, Mr. Sean Notice Me Dablack, who was upset that he didn't get enough attention from Hasan, who was pissed that no one knew who he was in Content Cop, who was begging Frogan to acknowledge him when he was in her chat. He's getting the attention he asked for. But like I said, this is like an Aesop's fable. Be careful what you wish for, because what you want doesn't always show up the way you want it. And that is exactly what is happening to Shawnee Boy. Okay, so we have that. Here is Sean, for lack of a better word, crashing out that snarkers did this to him, essentially.
We're watching Hasan watch it, and I watched Hasan watch it, and Hasan doesn't have a nice thing about Ethan. And the chat asked him.
Oh wait, this is his. This is from the content nuke. Nope, the content cop. This is just him being a dick and taking back what he had to say about Ethan. We should listen to it anyway.
And I'm like, wait, you didn't do a nice thing about Ethan? And he was like, no. And I'm like, wait, that was an option? I could have just said no.
Okay, so he's a scumbag just like the rest of them. Here's the snark one.
He would be like, I was like, why y'all dragging me into this? He would be like, why is he only suing women? Which I'm like, okay, fair. He's like, yeah, Seandablack reacted to it. He didn't sue him either. Why we dry snitching?
So Seandablack just catching strays from the community that has elevated him to the degree that he's elevated. Take of that what you will. But like, this is just, I've said it before. It's like one of my favorite phrases about Snark and all of these people. There's no honor among thieves. And anyone is going to be turned into chum if it serves the weird narrative that they're going with. These people never These people never gave a fuck about Sean. And they're happy to all point fingers at him if it makes Ethan look misogynistic. And now they're happy to do it because now Ethan looks racist. So it seems like they're happy that he's being sued because it gives them more ammo.
It's like playing hide and seek, right?
Yeah, when is this man going to realize he's on the wrong side? 100,000%. Like, bro, you've been used, you're being used. Thank you, Brittany, for subscribing. They're using you. They're using you.
Right? And your boy gets found. And all right, come out, bro. They found us. Fuck you mean they found us? We? You speaking French? You speaking French?
Okay, that's funny. I speak French. That's funny.
Leave me out of this. Leave me out of this.
Oy, oy, oy.
Teacher, he cheated too.
I mean, he's laughing a lot. I mean, so I'm sure he's like joking a little. Oh my God, the freaking screen is freezing again. I'm sorry, y'all. Hang on. Okay, so this is him. Yeah, I'll just replay it just a little bit of it.
Why is he only suing women? Which I'm like, okay, fair. He's like, yeah, Seandablack reacted to it. He didn't sue him either. Why we dry snitching? It's like playing hide and seek, right? And your boy gets found. And all right, come out, bro. They found us. Fuck you mean they found us?
If I was Sean, I'd go full narc. That is, if he actually knows anything. Yeah, I probably would too. Especially after that. Especially after that. I would definitely be one of the people that was turning state's evidence. The state of Ethan Klein's kingdom here. Okay, so yeah, and then here is Sean's response. Okay, people are pissed. People were like, oh, Ethan, you're being racist now and misogynistic. And so here is Ethan's response to that. I understand my announcement that I'm going to sue Seandablack was upsetting to some. Therefore, in an act of superhuman grace, like he is just like fully recharged on this break. This was not an unplug. This was like a plug in and recharge. He's back with the creative writing. In an act of superhuman grace, I will make you this offer. If the Snark subreddit, Taylor Lorenz, and Cat Tenbarge all apologize for calling me a misogynist, because they all did, I will consider dropping the lawsuit against Sean. This offer expires Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So we are like 2 days, like 48-ish hours away from this offer expiring. And Ethan has offered these before. He's offered one to the snarkers, offered amnesty to them if they came forward. We don't know if anybody has. Just because Ethan hasn't said that they have doesn't mean that they didn't, as we've learned. Just like, Denims was really cocky about not being sued when she didn't hear something immediately, doesn't mean that she wasn't getting sued. So we don't know what's going on with that one, but now this is like another offer of amnesty, essentially, that he will tear up the lawsuit. Well, he says here, I will consider dropping the lawsuit against Sean. And all it'll take is a lot of people eating crow. But are they willing to do it to save a black man from racism? Turns out no. So far, no. This is Sean's response. He wasn't even mentioned here. Like, he's not the one that has to apologize at all. So he says, this is the last thing I'll say about this, but Ethan Klein using me to force accomplished women journalists, they've with peace and love, they've fallen pretty hard. If Kat's latest work is any example, to grovel to him is ironically he claims is inaccurate in this very post. No, that's not true. That's not what that is. And then he said he prevents assault, false choice. Grovel to him as he exerts the control he wants to feel over women, or deny him whatever gratification he gets from that narcissistic behavior and subsequently be blamed by him for a small creator being sued. I reject this choice. Fuck you, Ethan. Well, it's not your choice to make. And there is a third choice that none of them are talking about, which is to take a step back and realize that you have the opportunity to turn the fucking heat down on all this. And to like step out of the orbit and get some perspective and genuinely apologize for the shit that you have contributed to. I don't think, it doesn't seem like they are capable of that, but that is another choice. The choice to take responsibility for your piece of it. And no one is saying any of these people have done all of the terrible things that have happened to Ethan over the past year, Ethan and his family and the crew. But you've all piled on. You've all participated in snark telephone and just putting out erroneous ideas, both publicly and in private, to people you barely know, like Taylor Lorenz telling me that she thinks Ethan killed his dog. Like, she didn't fucking know me. But she had plenty to say. So here's Snark's response to whether or not they are going to apologize to save Seandablack. Excuse me, Seandablack. Ethan Klein is the terrorist. Oh, he's a terrorist now. He is currently taking Seandablack. This is like, are you French? Are you Canadian? Seandablack hostage. Oh, they're taking him hostage. Suddenly they care about hostages. Demanding specific actions from third parties in order to blah, blah, blah. We know where that's going. And then we have, on behalf of Snark, I apologize for absolutely fucking nothing. You misogynist piece of shit. Have fun trying to explain to a legal clerk how your suit against Sean isn't probably racist. Again, as we learned from Runkle, the attorney from Canada, Ethan can sue whoever he wants in this situation. Being like, Your Honor, it's misogynist that he only sued 3 women. Your Honor, it's racist that he sued a black person. Those aren't defenses. None of that's going to stand up. So like Ethan has said, keep saying what you want on the internet. Say whatever you want, because eventually you're going to have to say it in front of a judge. So you might as well like get your story together. It's still going to be bullshit though. Oh my gosh. All right. My dog had a similar illness to Shredder. Oh, I'm so sorry. So much money and care goes into it that for that allegation, it's so uneducated and disrespectful. Amen. Yes. Monterey, she did say that to me in DMs. There's a video on my channel about it. You can go to like the shorts and that'll put you right to the meat of it. But there is also a stream that I did that's like a little lengthier about it. So yeah, she perpetuated the rumors regarding CPS, saying that the kids were crawling around in dog feces. And she said to me that Ethan didn't mean to kill his dog, which means that he did kill his dog. So yeah, she has no journalistic integrity left. Because in my opinion, as a journalist or just like a good person with integrity, you don't leave your morals at the office. You don't leave your morals like on the job and clock out and then become like a disgusting hater on the internet spreading lies. How can you do that as a journalist? Like, I understand people who, I mean, clearly this person is young. Just a run-on sentence, no punctuation, no capitalization. You know what I mean? I expect it from someone like this, but from journalists, what happened to you people? Have you seen the updated terms Ethan put out? I did. That's our next We've got a couple more slides here of things that have happened. So we have Kat Tenbarge weighing in, courtesy of Taylor. And like I said, like I predicted, yeah, they're besties. They are bestie hack journalists in chat with each other. So Taylor said, or first she says, okay, bet. I'm ever so sorry for calling you a misogynist, Ethan. Like, just... Now drop this lawsuit against Sean, who absolutely does not deserve this. Now, like, this is all performative shit. You genuinely have a chance to keep a guy from getting sued, and you're not taking it seriously. Even though Sean is like, fuck this, don't do this for me, I reject it. You know deep down that you have done bad things. But, I mean, maybe the cult brain is just like, has you in a headlock. I don't know. Because cult members, they find themselves doing terrible things, right? And then years later, they're like, oh my God, how did I do that? I can't believe it. All right, so that's what Taylor said. And then she shares this like an hour later. Kat Tenbarge is no longer on Twitter, but she wanted me to communicate this statement to everyone. By the way, Ethan is also not on Twitter. So this is all performative. This is all for show. Ethan is not reading this. He's not reading this unless it shows up on the subreddit. So you got to ask yourself, who is this for? Nothing says performative like doing all of this knowing that the person you're talking to is not in the room. No, it's absolutely not an apology. It's just dripping with sarcasm. Kat Tenbarge here. I want to be clear that my piece never refers to Ethan Klein as a misogynist. Excuse me. Let's go to Miss Kat's page again. Don't make me do this to you again. If anyone, especially a man, is engaging in what you consider to be a war on women, that's not misogynist. What is that? What kind of person would do that, Kat? What kind of person would wage a war on poor women, you know? That's the name of the article. And all throughout you talk about him being hateful to women. So like I don't understand what is going on. The only way that I can explain it is that you are being a fucking bully. Back to Ethan Klein tormenting women. Words mean things. This isn't even buried in your article. This is a fucking subheader, Kat. Like, you know what words mean. You know what connotations words have. If you're gonna write something like this and then not even stand on it, like, you're a fucking coward. Stand behind your word. Call him a fucking misogynist. You clearly believe that, so why are you backtracking? This is the mean girl shit that I am talking about when I say that she and Taylor are mean girl journalists. Because they abuse words. And then when you call them out for doing so, they fucking manipulate you. And they do even more semantic abuse. I didn't say he was misogynist. I said that he was courting a misogynist audience. Yeah, here we go. It says the lawsuits have provoked a torrent of misogynistic abuse aimed at these women who were already frequent targets. Well, they're his lawsuits that he's filing. So who is creating this atmosphere of misogynistic abuse, according to you? I really did not think I would be analyzing and critiquing your words again, but here we are. Who were already freaking targets. We're the latest gift to the misogynistic cesspool of the internet and are catnip for the misogynistic ecosystem in the Twitch community and beyond. Do you think that this is an own? You literally just said that you have referred to Ethan as existing within and promoting and provoking misogynistic abuse. If he is not a misogynist, that he wouldn't fit in this cesspool, in this ecosystem. And you know that. You know, like, you think he's a misogynist, so fucking stand on business. Stand 10 toes down, as Hasan says when he's trying to sound like a 20-year-old. But I think this latest move proves the point of everything I did say. So she's saying again, but I really do think he's a misogynist. Like, it's not hard to read between the fucking lines. By the way, Mean Girl has no male equivalent, therefore it's misogynistic. Okay, cool. Now is not the time to be doing fucking feminist semantics. And I am a huge feminist. I don't want to fucking talk about that. That's fucking dumb. That is whataboutism, and we're not doing that. We are talking about the fact that Kat and Taylor are, sadly, have lost their integrity. And they are behaving like bullies. Should I use the word bully instead? If you have ever been a young girl in middle school, then you understand what I mean by mean girl. There's a reason that there's no equivalent. Fine, we'll talk about it. There's a reason there's no equivalent. And that is because young boys and young girls are socialized differently. They are socialized to get their aggression out in different ways. When I say mean girl, I mean it's a very specific way that we as women and girls are socialized to behave, which is to never outwardly express our aggression like Kat is doing here, saying, I would never call him a misogynist, while doing so in like a backhanded way every other line throughout her article. It's all passive aggression. It's all behind the back. It's all with a wink. It's all gaslighty. While boys and men, no, there aren't mean boys and mean men because they're allowed to do that shit. And when I say mean girl, people know exactly what I mean. It's not the same as being like, oh, that girl's bossy, instead of saying she has leadership skills. Like, it is a very specific way that women and girls are socialized. You don't have to like it. You don't have to use it. But to me, it paints the picture of a very specific time in young women's lives when we are socialized to be horrible to each other and to be dishonest with each other and to swallow our rage and swallow our aggression and let it come out in all of these disgusting, cloaked ways. And that's the real problem. I don't think the words mean girl is the problem. The problem is the root of it, which is the way that boys and girls are socialized differently. And it's also super embarrassing to do that as adult women. Like, stand on your shit, especially as a journalist. Stand on your words. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Am I wrong that women coined that phrase? I don't know who coined it. I know it from the movie Mean Girls. Like, that's the first time I really saw it, like, used almost like a proper noun. You're a mean girl. You're a bitch. I have no problem calling other women mean girls when they're being fucking mean girls, which is being dishonest, being gaslighty, being passive aggressive, being crazy making, or whatever term it is that Ethan uses. They're fucking mean girls. Have you seen Noah Sampson's newest video where he slanders Hila by calling her a war criminal without any evidence? I haven't, but I'm sure Ethan has. Manipulative, perfect word. Another perfect word. Okay, so that happened. Obviously, both of them are basically saying, I'm not apologizing. But instead of just saying that, she does a sarcastic apology. This is what I'm saying. Being a little nasty, yeah. Just being fucking nasty. Yes, exactly. It was probably derived from a misogynistic stereotype. Yes, because all girls are supposed to be nice, right? But this isn't about women like, I think the term is used in a couple ways. One of them is girls who stand up for themselves and say no and, push back and, like are independent and strong-willed and maybe let out their aggression more physically, right? That to me is like a time that mean girl does not make sense. That is just a strong girl. But the mean girl shit I'm talking about is the bullying that happens between like adolescent girls. So I think it can be used in a misogynistic sense, and it can also be used to call shit what it is. You're being fucking mean, you're being manipulative. And you're what, almost 40? Get fucking real. Get real. Right, that's not mean girls, but what I'm saying is that might be used to like silence girls the way bossy is. Like, oh, she's bossy, when really she's just like taking control of a situation. But sorry, if you're an adult woman and you're doing this fucking middle school bullshit, you're a mean girl. They're not clocking to it. And that's okay. You don't have to clock to it. Okay, so here's what Ethan says in response to Taylor. Sarcastic non-apologies will not be accepted. Snark, I need a mod to sticky a post with a heartfelt apology. Do this and I will tear up the complaint. I am 100% serious. So he is now saying, I will not sue Seandablack if all of you apologize by Sunday night. I really feel like he's not going to do it. Yeah, so they laughed about it and they're not going to apologize. Snark obviously isn't going to apologize. So Ethan has levied a new challenge, a new ultimatum. And to me, it feels like he had this shit like, he was like, if this happens, then this happens. Like he had the contingency plans. When they say no, this is where I'm going to go next. And so it says, because Snark and the two disgraced journalists are unwilling to swallow their pride, it looks like the lawsuit against Sean will be moving forward. Imagine believing so strongly in straight up fucking lies that are lies. Just to harass someone and malign them because you don't agree with the way they feel about what's happening in Gaza, even though they agree that it's a genocide and want it to stop. Imagine risking a lawsuit, risking legal troubles for other people that you don't even know, just to stay in the good graces of fucking Hasan and the snarkers. I don't get it. I do not get it. Short of brainwashing, I don't have an understanding of why this is happening. Okay, so in an act of unimaginable grace, I am prepared to make one final offer. If Hasan donates $25,000 to each of their GoFundMes, I'm assuming this is Denham's Kaceytron, Frogan, and Seandablack doesn't have one up yet, I don't think. I will tear up the Seandablack complaint that I've already spent several thousands writing. So Seandablack's thing is already happening. He has already been working on this. Furthermore, Hasan, any behind-the-scenes donations will be found during discovery. So pretending like you are helping them behind the scenes works now, but everything will be overturned to us in due time. So he is now calling Hasan out for saying that he is donating to these people and helping them anonymously when he might not actually be, and might just be saying that for appearances. Allegedly. We don't know what's true. It had to take a crazy amount of self-control to keep quiet about the nuke. Yeah, for sure. I feel like he almost talked about it a couple of times. There was one moment when he mentions a watch party. And you hear Dan be like, a watch party. Before the nuke was even launched. And you could tell that they had a little secret between them about watch parties. And that was that everybody was getting sued. Yeah, Lord Farquaad sacrificing his knights, 100% Hasan vibes. And that's what I said on the last stream. Like, he is like the online poster boy for fighting war by proxy. Like, clearly these people, throughout this whole thing, there's been so much arrogance. There's been so much confidence that nothing was going to come of this, and that Ethan Klein was going down, and they just all seem to feel so invincible and protected. And I just keep asking myself, like, why do they feel that way? Why are they so confident? I think it's because they think Hasan is going to save them. They think that Hasan is going to make it all right because they are under his little umbrella. And because from time to time, he bestows his benevolence on them by chair reacting to one of their videos, retweeting them. And that gives them such a rush that they're willing to fucking dive on grenades for him when they don't have the money to dive on those grenades. He'd make a great PR manager. That's his true calling. Yeah, he's definitely evil enough to be a PR manager. For sure. For sure. So yeah, so we don't know what else is going to happen. Let me check quickly and see. Let's see if Ethan has posted anything else. And while we're here, we'll check Twitter, see if anything's happening. Just because this is an active story here. Nothing really. I mean, it's all been pretty quiet on Twitter lately. Not much coming out. Like, I usually look at Yeet for things. But he or they have not had much lately. Because, Ethan's on vacay. So let's quickly see if there are any updates from Ethan. Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, just Hila being hot, as if saying she's not. Okay, here's one. How many law tubers saying they're fucked will it take to get through to them? So, I mean, to me, I think that all of this, everything that Ethan is doing is trying to get these people to settle. Right? He's showing them, like, over and over again, like, you guys are fucked. I'm serious. You're really fucked, and you should, take a settlement or say you're sorry and really mean it, because you're gonna be absolutely over a barrel. To me, that's merciful. It's merciful for him to do that instead of just like staying quiet and then just absolutely railing everybody and refusing a settlement, which he totally would be within his right to do. He's literally giving them so many off-ramps, and they're not taking any of them. For first time here, I'm an H3 fan. Happy to find good channels through him. Yay! Welcome, Kat! I saw Emmy Rue spoke vaguely about the lawsuit. I fear the snarkers will make her their next target. Oh my God. There's just so many targets for them. But I really think they're just like flailing now. Like the whole Robinhood thing, it just really feels like they're trying to find new people to be pissed at, and I think they're up against a wall. And I mean they should feel that way because they most certainly are. Because we have no idea what's happening behind the scenes and what kind of stuff is coming out. We don't know if snarkers are flipping and like the snark mods are revealing things to Ethan already. And I don't know when we'll know, but I do think it would be smart to do it. Yeah, and then it's just the Hasan message. So, I guess we should check if Hasan has said anything. He's just been like casually retweeting stuff about Ethan being a misogynist. This dude is so fucking annoying. Hot boy summer. Okay, no one cares about that. Every analysis piece written about me, oh, this is great, about me focuses on how I look or carry myself. My politics as a political commentator is secondary. Even when Dems were looking to find or build a Joe Rogan of the left, I always reiterated that the policies Dem are defined by is far more important. Huh? Also, there's a reason for this, and it's because, in my opinion, your PR team is placing these stories about your looks and how you carry yourself. It's just like all thirst traps. Like it's not journalism, bro. All right, is there anything else? Let's see. I just want H3 to come back from break so Goblin Mode can come full force. I cannot wait. And to that end, so I was saying, oh, bye. Bye, girly. I wanted, at the top of the stream, I was talking about maybe continuing when the show is back on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9:30 Eastern as like an H3 after show. After party seems to be the name we're going with. So make sure you subscribe and we will do that. All right, what is this one that I pulled up here? Oh, here's more evidence of them flailing. Please hold, please hold. So here's some evidence of snarkers flailing, trying to find a new target to be pissed at because all of the shit that's happening with the lawsuits is making them feel out of control. Now they're going after Moist Critical. Like, what? He has not been involved at all. Talk about dry snitching, as Seandablack said. But now they're going after Moist Critical? So this must be from the Snark subreddit. Snarkers, yeah, okay. So someone like Charlie has a massive reach with his videos, and he's called out plenty of assholes. One simple video on Ethan would expose his disgusting behavior to millions of new people and would significantly help raise money for their lawsuits. Too bad he's being a pussy and is too scared to piss off a chunk of his incel audience. Everybody's an incel now. I mean, Charlie once said he couldn't understand why iDubbbz felt the need to apologize for his past behavior, so I don't have a lot of hope for him, unfortunately. Also, I saw this on Faux Moi. I wonder why. And I have no idea if it's right or not. It probably isn't, because Faux Moi is full of fucking lies. It was just one comment, but apparently Ethan helped him with a YouTube issue he had, so he probably likes the guy. I don't fucking know. Like, they're just reaching. They're going to pull something reaching this hard. I unsubbed from Charlie today. So brave. After thinking about all this. He's one of the standard, I'm safe, popular white guys who would rather do literally anything than stand up to another rich guy on behalf of women. Good fucking God. So are they harassing Moist Critical now? Is he on, there he is. Where did he go? Am I spelling it wrong? There he is. Okay, Moist Critical. Let's see if people are saying stuff. Doesn't look like they've been hating him on Twitter yet. Okay. These are fucking old as shit. Oh, he hasn't been on in like a year? Maybe he's on Instagram. Let's find out. Just want to see if the snarkers have leaked off of Reddit yet and are bothering him. He's not there either. Okay, never mind. Charlie said he's intentionally ignoring online bullshit. Well, good for him. Why do they think these women need a white savior man? Kind of sexist. T. Nice name, by the way. I read that Taylor claimed the snark pages are predominantly made up of women. What do you think of that? I think that she's right. I think that she's totally right. I talked a little bit about this on one of my streams this week, and how they're also probably, because it's predominantly women, those spaces are also probably filled predominantly with people who have like survived trauma and have a lot of unhealed shit going on, as I do and as a lot of women do. Because I think Rain said like 1 in 6 women have been a victim of like sexual violence. So it's like you're putting all of these people in a space where they can express their unhealed, unresolved anger and aggression at what happened to them, and that sense of not having control over things. And so this makes them feel powerful. And I think that is a piece of it that nobody's really talking about. So yeah, I totally believe that's true. Again, it's more of that mean girl, the mean girl mentality of doing things anonymously instead of directly confronting someone. Random, but as I was looking at this drama, I was disappointed to find Tyler Oakley tweeting about Ethan as a MSU fan. Yeah, Tyler Oakley has really shown himself to be something else lately. I actually think H3 Snark is more men. Interesting. Well, we also know that the genesis of the Snark was like Trisha fans, like toxic Trisha fans. So to me, I would say it's probably women and gay men. I think general snarking is different than this snarking. Most snarking is against random female creators, and it's just scrutinizing them for no reason. Not like this where it's personal between fans. I mean, but there have been snarks. I mean, Trisha's snark where they were like doxing her fertility clinic and stuff. Like, people get really ugly in there. I just like to say I felt so off about Vanilla Mace before she hated on Ethan. I didn't know anything about her, and I still don't, and I think that I'm okay with that. Yeah, Tyler Oakley, like, so 2012. Also, what happened to Hannah Hart? Where did she go? She's, like, disappeared from the internet. I, like, randomly remembered that she was a thing, and I was like, where did she go? What happened to her? Still don't know. Wait, am I missing something? Did Ethan say something sexist? Why are women hating on him? Also, he said the other day women are the main H3 fan base. Yes, we are. We are the main fan base. No, people think that he is sexist because he is suing 3 people who committed copyright infringement, and those people happen to be women. They're weaponizing the idea of misogyny and sexism to make Ethan look bad, to poison the well about Ethan. I think Trisha is included when I say that H3 Snark is different. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Keep it that way. Vanilla is just not a fun watch when you've got any kind of critical thinking skills. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. And that's what I said. Like, it's very easy to, it seems easy to get an audience when you're dumb online. Like, in any sense of the word. Like, if you're willing to do dumb shit, say dumb shit, let people laugh at you. Like, look at lolcal, right? It's easy. It's easy. Totally off topic, but remember Flula being on everything? Yeah, what happened to Flula? This is like old school. Hey, girlies! Majority women. Yes, queen. Ooh, bounding off that question, what's your favorite funny segment? I think mine is the metaverse ones. I loved the metaverse ones. Metaverse, I loved. I loved the you laugh, you lose. But even more so, Silent Library. I think I want them to do Silent Library again so bad. I think they need a new Ian to like run segments, and like schedule them out so like everyone knows what to prepare for. It's I don't know if this is true, but it seems a little like the ideas are coming for bigger segments like on the show, and then they're just planning them like reactively. But it seemed like Ian had a lot of like fun, interesting, creative stuff like in the hopper. So I would love if they did like Silent Library again. Oh, that was so great. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. I think Moses and Trish are behind H3 Snark, and it will come out in Discovery. I am so interested to see what comes out in Discovery. Ian, Sam, and Cam being gone has left a big hole in the show creative-wise. I agree. Thank you, Ruka. Welcome. So I'm hoping that they're going to backfill. Scare the Coyote. Ian's been directing it, and it just released. Super cool to see him working with William Osmond and such. I've never heard of any of that, but I can't wait to see it. I think... Oh, wait. There's one final little thing. Someone crawled out of their hole in Canada to repost this Onion person who always has a lot of really intelligent shit to say. IDub slowly emerges from his cuck cave to repost this. Ethan Klein is literally using the Donald Trump strategy of trying to bleed your opponents dry of everything they have to silence them. This is so insane. Just retweeted that. Just a casual retweet after saying nothing for weeks. This is what we get. Yes, he's definitely a wimp. Yeah, so that's the last of it. It looks like everything's sort of quieted down. We'll see what happens over the weekend because we do have a ticking clock happening right now, right? We are waiting to see what people are going to do between now and Sunday night at midnight. Will Taylor and Kat apologize? Will Snarkers apologize? Is Seandablack getting sued? Is Hasan going to pay people publicly $25,000 each to their GoFundMes? I feel like no, because he knows that money's just going to end up in Ethan's pocket. Is this the calm before the storm? Yeah, I feel like it. I mean, or maybe it'll just, be a whimper and everyone will apologize and they'll settle and we'll get some like funny bits on the show about the stuff they settle for. We'll have to wait and see. And like the lawyers are saying, we have to remember that this stuff is going to take longer than we want it to. It could take months, could take a year for all of this stuff to shake out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. How many days left until the show comes back? Do we know what day they're coming back? I highly, highly doubt it, but they're too full of themselves to admit when they did anything wrong. I know, they're so down the hole. You know what it's reminding me of in like an extreme? That woman, Lori Daybell, is that her name? Who helped kill her children because she believed that, they were devils because this man that she married told her so. And she probably has like, obviously psychological issues. But like, she is in jail right now. And she's still like, I did the right thing. You weren't there. You don't know. I did the right thing for those kids. They were totally possessed. Like, that's an extreme of this situation. But like, if this stuff, if like the real world of a lawsuit is not shaking these people out of their weird cult slumber, I don't know what will. Like, they're ready to just die on this. They're ready to die on this hill. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. But it's not, whatever happens, it's not going to be good for the Snarkers. It's not going to be good for the online journalists that glaze Hasan. Might not be good for Hasan. But it should give us plenty to talk about. They were zombies. Yes, like insane shit. Ethan was dragging some of it out, though, for a teeny bit, and so was Ryan. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were for sure. July 7th. Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to probably go. I'll be back again when there are updates. Maybe that'll happen this weekend, maybe not. And in the meantime, I'm going to think about a little schedule for when the show's back. I think that what we're missing right now, like I've said, is a post-show place to chat, because some of the crew members will stream, but they don't talk about H3, right? So like, we need a place where we can chat, right? So I'm thinking Tuesdays and Fridays. So after the Monday show, and then, you know, talk about the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday shows on Friday. And I think we're going to call it the H3 after party. Does this sound good? Okay, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. I will be back when I'm back. And yeah, be safe out there. And don't argue with snarkers. Protect your peace. Peace and love.